Hey everyone, it's DV, and today we got a new update on Roblox Islands, which is the new flower update. This update came with a bunch of new features and a big new hub. If you haven't seen the hub, I won't really go into a whole lot of detail with this. In fact, I'm not even going to go to it, because if you go to the hub, it will take you into a public server, and I really don't feel like going back into a public server. But the hub is actually now shared as a public server, so you don't have a private hub anymore. And if you missed that in my last video, which covered the server update, you can check that video out in the description below. It is linked. And so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about the new hub and its Easter eggs, like the armor, the characters, the meteorites, and all the theories we have about them. But instead in this video, I'm going to focus on the flowers and a couple of new features that we got. Since with the flowers, there's so much to cover, I don't really have a whole lot of time to go into some of the other aspects of this update. So look for a second video about this update, because there's so much to cover here. Before I jump into this, please like and subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to get notified of new videos. And just a reminder, if you have Twitter, you can follow me at Dark Viper, or you can join my Discord at discord.gg/dvplays. We're approaching 40,000 members. It's an awesome server, and we have a very active trading community for islands, so hope to see you there. Now, on to what's new in this update. So first up, we have double doors. I'm going to show you the doors. It works for iron doors and pine doors, so check this out. So with pine doors, all you got to do is just see how it looks like right here. You just put it right there, and you can see that the extra doorknob just switched, and if you open them, they open up inwards like that. And then the same thing happens for these. Like if you put them separate like that, but if you put them together. So for all of you who mentioned you have OCD and can't handle not having double doors, there you go. Now you have double doors. So that's a pretty cool feature. And then we actually have this new upside down stairs, so you can get these stairs. And just like Minecraft, if you put your mouse under, like at the bottom part of the block that you're attaching to, it'll do regular stairs. And if you do the upper side of that block, or the upper half, it turns into upside down stairs. And then one thing we don't have yet is we don't have corner stairs, right? So you can't do something like this yet. So you can't do that. It doesn't make the corner, but that's okay. And we also have top and bottom slabs. So I'm going to go grab a slab real quick. So you can see we could either do upper, or we could do the lower half there. But you can see you could do either of those. And that's really cool because we can make better designs that way. They also added something that's pretty cool, which is join codes. They did this the night before the update, in fact. And you can see here, I've got a join code here. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on this. In fact, I'll probably go into more detail in my next video. So if you're like trading with people, just give them your join code, and that way you can trade with them. And they did actually add cross server chat, so you can actually like invite people that way to your island. It's a little harder, so it's going to be interesting making a noob to pro video, because in the past I would just spam invite everyone. I'd be like invite, and then just hope that they arrive to my island and buy stuff, right? So in my upcoming noob to pro videos, I will show you how to get around that, and I'll probably use some tactics we used in Dungeon Quest and some other games for trading in the past. So don't worry, we'll figure that out. So the other thing that they said is they're going to be increasing block limits from 50,000 to 150,000. So we're going to have a triple the size of block limits. You know what that means? Some of these islands, including your own island, is going to be massive. You can actually make massive islands now. So after they make that update, I don't know when they're going to do that. I'm assuming it's probably going to be sometime this week. And so keep an eye out for that. And that's pretty exciting, because they're going to basically take away these islands over here. And that's why they haven't done it yet. But these islands over there are going to be taken away. So those are going away, and we're going to have massive islands. In fact, things are already loading way quicker. The other thing that they said is they increased and doubled the despawn limits. So what that means is your auto farms aren't going to despawn as quickly, because they did double that as a part of this change. They were able to double that, which is awesome, because that means our farms can do so much more without despawning right away. So we can have so many more autos. So I can't wait to do an updated steel farm video, because we can actually handle a lot more steel. We can handle a lot more. Everything's going to get upgraded. And finally, we have new flowers. So this is the big piece of this update. The update is all around the flowers. So check this out. So if I go over to the coloring station, you can see all these new colors, right? So we got black clay. So this is way cleaner. I don't really want to make one right now, but I could make one. But we got black clay, and that's going to be cleaner than the coal blocks we've been using. So we got cyan, which is cool. So that's a nice color. It's very light. It's like a light blue. We got dark green clay. We got light green. We got orange. We got pink. We got purple, red, which we've already had. We got white, which is new. We used to have to use coal blocks. Now we can just do straight up white clay. We have yellow clay, which we've had. And then we don't have new colored glasses yet. So I kind of want these. I think it would be cool to have these, because, you know, being able to do better looking water with glass that looks like this would be really cool. And then also black glass is going to allow us to do like fake smoke and stuff. And then the other thing we don't have is different colors of this yet. So I'm waiting for new carpet as well. Now, one thing thing you need to note is that when you go into your island, you're going to notice that all of your old flowers have been updated, right? What you're going to notice is most of your flowers are going to turn into something like this. They look like lilies, right? These are all lilies. So your old flowers, if they were on your island or placed on grass on your island, they will get converted to fertile lilies. Most of them should be lilies, if not all of them. And this is the most basic flower that you can get now as a lily. And you're pretty much going to see red, yellow, and blues just like before. And the thing is they're, like I said, they're all going to be fertile. But if you had seeds in your inventory, they're going to be converted into non-fertile. Here's non-fertile here. So you see how it just says black lily? So yours would just say blue lily or red lily. Here, I've actually got a bunch of red lilies. So these used to be regular flowers. So even my seeds got converted to regular red lilies. And then you have something called fertile red lily. Well, fertile basically means they are only for breeding. So you can actually breed flowers now. That's how you can make new flowers. Is you can pretty much make an auto farm, in fact, for flowers. It is completely possible, and I will do an auto farm video at some point. I'm not right away, but I will do one at some point to show you how to auto these. And it's actually way easier and really cool. So you have these fertile red lilies. So the difference between these is that fertile flowers, like I said, can be crossbred with other flowers to make new flowers, while non-fertile flowers are really just good for crafting. So these colored blocks, right? So they're only good for this. So one thing I want to tell you is you can't use fertile flowers. So if you have a fertile pink flower and no other pinks, you can't make pink clay. There's no way, because they don't allow fertile pink hibiscus, for example. You know, they don't allow any of those. And one thing when you're looking at this coloring station as well, you'll notice that if you just sit here, these flowers, the crafting flowers, will actually change out, because there's different types of flowers you can use to craft this blue carpet, for example. So you can use the blue lily, you can use the blue hibiscus. So there's different types of flowers with different colors, and they're not all the same. There's only, for example, there's only a purple hibiscus currently that can make a purple clay block. And this is super rare, by the way. If you find this, let me know if you find one of these. I need it. But you can see this is one of the most rare. This is like the purple firefly currently. It's going to be the most desired block in the game right now. And there's two ways to tell if something's fertile. So you can see here, if I zoom in, you can see those little particle effects that are dropping around, these like little colored particle effects. That means it's fertile. Or you can just hover over and it does say it's fertile, right? But you can see these guys have no effects whatsoever. So these are not fertile at all. These are fertile. You can see the effects. These are not. So you can see these are not. And one thing I want to tell you is, even though this thing looks like it's purple, the way you can tell if it's not purple by hovering it, or you can just look at the, so like someone says it shows a screenshot, look for the particle colors. The particle colors would be purple if they were purple. So you can see this looks like purple, but it's blue particles. So don't get scammed. Now there's currently 4 different types of flowers. There is the lily, there's the hyacinth, there's the daisy, and then there's the hibiscus. And this is the order of rarity currently. This is the order of rarity. And I think, so I've been talking with Telanthric a lot tonight, and we've been going and comparing notes, and I think he's got like a breakdown of a percentage of rarity that he thinks these are, because these can actually spawn on your island. So all of these types are going to spawn on your island randomly, and it's just by chance. So for example, see this hibiscus? Hibiscus is the most rare flower that you can actually get, right? So to get one of these to spawn on your island is really, really crazy and awesome. So I actually had to trade for this light green one, but this blue one spawned exactly where it's at. And so you really want these, because these are the most rare currently, and these are the most common. So you go from red lily down to hyacinth to red daisy, and I think we're kind of bouncing between these. These are kind of like, I haven't actually gotten that many daisies on my island, but I've gotten some hyacinths, and I got one on my alt. So I know that they're spawning more often than the daisy, but I'm not sure still. I'm not sure about the rarity. It could just be my chances. And then hibiscus, I have only ever seen one spawn on my island. It's over there, and it's really hard to find. In fact, when I was trying to find them, they were just really hard to find. So keep an eye on those, and don't underestimate the value of these. So I offered 50 million for this one, and I think it might be worth more. I'm not sure, because I haven't seen a pink yet. And this one I paid 50 million just because I needed it for the video. But there's people that are offering about 8 million so far, but I don't think they realize how much they can get for it yet, because they are pretty rare and people need them to breed. So I can name all of the different color possibilities for each of these, because they are unique. Each flower has a unique set of possibilities, right? So like the lilies have its own set of colors. The hyacinth has its own list of colors possibilities. The daisy has its own color possibilities. And then same with the hibiscus. The hibiscus, like I said, is the only one that has the purple. So a lot of people are going to be looking for these, and they're going to be looking for daisies quite a bit as well. And I'm not really going to go through that list, but you could actually look at the list in the description of the video. I will include the list, the color list, or you can go to the coloring station here, and you can just click through any of these to see which flowers you need. So for example, there's a Cyan Daisy, there's a Cyan Hyacinth, and there's a Cyan Lily. and that's it. So there's only 3 cyan flowers, and you know, there are 4 flower types, right? And the other thing I want to mention though is if you look at this color list, because there are like 30, I think there's like 38 different flowers here. If you look at this color list, sometimes you're going to see like a daffodil in here. See like pink daffodil? We don't know anything about that currently. That would be number 5 here. That'd be flower number 5, and the game team said there's only 4 types. So what I'm thinking is that this is going to be something in the future that they're going to add that you can get from mobs. That would be my guess, is you're going to be able to get it from future islands. And I'm guessing they're going to be working on adding more of those to the islands. I'm not positive, but that's just my thought, right? That's my thought. Now, as far as being able to make a fertile flower, so there's 2 ways that I know of. The first way is you're going to see that I've got a bunch of fertile flowers here, and these were all spawned on my island. So except for the black one. So all of these were automatically on my island, and you'll see every now and then, if you just kind of come back to your island, you're going to see like fertile, like here's a fertile flower here. It's going to be, you know, wherever grass can grow, there's going to be a chance that you're going to grow one of these fertile flowers. And as far as being able to make more of them, the only way that I've actually seen it happen is by breeding your flowers, which I'm going to cover in a second here. But you can see this fertile Cyan Daisy. I actually grew that. So that actually grew right next to my daisies. So I know I bred that. And so I know you can make fertile. And I think the reason why the game team did that is to limit the amount that you can make. Because if everything became fertile, then it would just get kind of crazy and common, right? It'd be too easy to grind these things. So now that you understand a little bit about the fertile versus non-fertile, and again, the only way you're going to get them is they will spawn randomly on your island, including the different types. So if you're like, DV, how do I get hibiscus? You just wait randomly and they will randomly spawn on your island. You just need to wait. So just give it time. You're most likely going to get these next after lilies, and then you'll probably get some daisies and stuff. So that's pretty much how you're going to get those. Now I want to jump into how to breed these things. So it's pretty simple. So first thing you're going to need to do, you're going to need to go over to craft a watering can. It only costs 10 wood, and you're going to want to equip that, and then plant at least a couple fertile next to each other. You don't have to have any fancy line. You could do like straight lines. You can stack them like this if you want to. You can stack them like this if you want to. You can zigzag them. If you want to do something like that, you can. So if they're zigzag, these will still breed with each other. They just have to be 1 block away from each other. And then you're going to water each of these. So you just click it, and you don't have to wait for the water to actually like pour all the way out. You can actually use an auto clicker. So all day I've been using an auto clicker. As soon as I was doing this, I was like, I wonder if it works. And it did, because if you like kind of click through them, it won't water it, right? So you got to actually click it. And then what's going to happen after this, you're going to wait 10 minutes, exactly 10 minutes. And I've timed this personally and it works. And so you got to wait 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, there's a chance that you're going to breed and spawn a new flower right next to it, right? So we're watering these. These you can't water. You can't water non-fertile. See these? You can click on them all day long. There's no reason to water them, and you can't do it. So don't worry about that. So after 10 minutes, you have a chance to spawn a flower. And one way you can tell if it's actually been watered is you look closely and you can see the little droplets there. It's hard to miss it. Look at all the droplets. This one does not look watered though. See this one? I think it is, but it's just going really slow. So we're going to go and water that again. There we go. So you just want to make sure everything's watered as long as it's fertile. And so now we're going to just basically wait for 10 minutes. So while we're waiting for this, I'm going to explain the colors, because the first thing you're going to think of is, hey, DV, so if I combine a yellow with a blue, I'm going to make green flowers, right? No, so that's not really how this works. And all day I've been making weird colors from other colors that don't have any kind of logic for the mixes. So I know that this is basically just a random based on the flower, based on a rarity table. So a lot of colors you're going to be getting are just based on random chance. So like, for example, over here with these, you're most likely going to get a light green hyacinth. This is what you're going to likely get, because I got a ton of them. So look at these. I got 68 of these today. So that is the most common hyacinth that you're going to breed. Second most common is going to be reds and yellows. And then orange is a little bit more rare. You can see I've got some oranges. I've only got 4 of them over here. I've got so many of these light greens. And then you also have blue, and blues seem to be a lot more rare than all of them. I've not spawned that many blues. So they have their own color table, and the rarity depends on the flower type. So every flower type has its own color table. And when I say table, I'm not talking like physical table, like crafting table or anything. I'm talking about like a list of possibilities, right? So for example, the daisies, the most common color you're going to find out of daisies outside of yellow and red is going to be white. And daisies don't actually have a blue color, right? So they don't actually have, there's no such thing as a blue daisy. So, but they do have a cyan daisy, and they have a dark green daisy, and then they have a light green daisy, apparently. So, and I haven't bred those yet. I'm still waiting for those. And then the lilies actually have their own color table as well. And the most common color you're going to find off of lilies is black. And the second most common will be cyan. And I actually bred a fertile black one, which is cool. So I'm just kind of waiting off this one. I'm trying to get some other colors. So my method is pretty simple. What I would say is just group your flower types together. So I'm assuming you at least need 2 of the same type to breed. I might be wrong about that. Like, I haven't actually tried to crossbreed like a hyacinth with a daisy. I'm just currently assuming that you need the same types together, but I have yet to spend time on that because, again, every single test that I've been doing today has taken me 10 minutes every single time, and I've gone through so many tests. Oh my gosh, so many tests. I've done rows and rows and rows. I've done isolations. I've done shapes. I've done everything. So again, just a reminder, you cannot use sprinklers with this either. So you do need to use a watering can. You cannot use sprinklers. That is how the game team designed it. So they don't want you to be using sprinklers because I think they want it to be a manual process, right? They want you to actually work for this. They want to make it a little slower for you to, get. Of course, I'm going to show you how to do some autos later. Now let's talk about mundane flowers. So one of the things you're going to notice while you're breeding your flowers, and it's going to be a little frustrating at first, is you're going to find something called a mundane flower. Here's what it looks like. So here's a mundane flower. I'm going to go ahead and equip them. So these are mundanes, right? And these are just 3 of the 4 types. I don't actually have a mundane hibiscus yet, but you see they're just gray flowers. And yeah, you can use these for design, pretty much for designing like a field or something. So if you want to have like a bunch of flowers out there that are gray, maybe you have like some kind of special like lighting or something with them. But mundanes are pretty much just bland, useless flowers currently. So go ahead and keep them just in case they do something with them. But you're going to see that most of the time you're going to be making mundane flowers, and it's really just meant, I think, to slow down your production. So it's just kind of basically like the most common flower that you can get out of all of these. And like I said, there's only a chance that you're going to get something every 10 minutes. So, I've actually had many 10-minute rounds come through and I don't get a single thing from these flowers. And so it's just a chance that you're going to breed. There's not a guarantee for that. All right, so 10 minutes is up and we can see a little bit of what we got here. So we didn't get anything from these, right? So let's go ahead and rewater these. Watering can, there we go. So we can rewater these. We didn't get anything this round. And it looks like we did get a cyan. We got a cyan lily. We got a cyan lily, which is cool. We got another one. So we can plant that there. It is not fertile. And then we didn't get anything over here, so we're gonna rewater those. And we got a light green hyacinth, and looks like that's it on this side. We did get something though, at least. And so let's go over here. We didn't get anything off these. We didn't get anything off that one. And we got some mundanes. Welcome to the mundanes. Nothing from these. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those just so we can breed a little bit better. We got another light green. We'll water these. And then we got another orange. We got another red. So you can see it's pretty simple to breed. It's just a process, and it's just wave based. So you got to wait another, 10 minutes or whatever. We just spawned one of those. So that's an extra lily. So you pretty much just wait for the next 10 minutes after you water. It's like, make sure everything's watered. We can get rid of all these. These were only just for display. So we don't need these on my island. So I only keep out what I need to, because from what I understand is that bees don't really impact your flowers. But if they do impact your breeding of your flowers, you don't want too many flowers out. I've been able to grow flowers without any bee interaction. So I don't know that bees really require it, but they might have, they might enhance the chance. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out from testing. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you're new. And I will have a couple more videos coming up. I have a price guide coming up for these flowers, so you'll know what they're worth. I also have a secrets and Easter eggs video coming up. I have some new auto farm videos coming up, so keep an eye out for those. And like I said, turn on your notifications so you don't miss those. And I will see you all next time. Take it easy.